huge congratulations. Back-to-back winners of the Premiership Rugby Sevens, and you haven't lost a game as a Sevens coach.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's just been an absolute privilege coaching the last 2 weeks. Last year was obviously some really good individual skills, and that obviously helped in our performance. But this year, a really good unit, a really good team that understood how to play the game, and that showed in the 3 games that we played today.
Would you say the turning point this evening was when Steph Reynolds picked that ball up from behind his own try line?
That certainly was a key factor, yeah. The conditions really did play a part, because obviously with the tournaments we played previously and in training, we had beautiful weather. So to adapt was really something that we had to learn quickly. But they're tries like that Steph scored, they turn a game, and there was for a moment there where we might have not gone through, but a moment of brilliance, and then fed off a couple of their mistakes, and then we're into the final. So
it was always going to be a tough evening up against a really good quality Sevens side and a Quins team that looked pretty decent all evening, but the boys really stepped up and changed their game plan, especially when Steph was probably a bit of a marked man. Yeah,
the 2 Welsh teams had a lot of invitational players coming from the Welsh circuit, so they knew how to play Sevens. Quins had a lot of good individuals, but just through Gwen Dragons' work rate and how they played the game, they pipped it. But a lot of our players were marked men, because obviously they had some skill and good attributes that people were aware of. But as I mentioned before, the team and how we play the game really was probably the key factor rather than the individuals.
What would you say the key thing about Gloucester and Sevens is? Because they've formed quite a nice relationship over the last few years.
Yeah, I think it's work rate, it's defence. Last year we had guys tracking back, scramble defence for each other if people did make gain lines. This year was about just the whole 7 working as a unit in defence, but having the understanding of when to actually attack, and Callum and Purds in that 10-12 position, really orchestrated where we wanted to play the game. So a lot of credit goes to those guys.
And you talk about the defence and how useful that can be. Across the 6 games that we played in the 7 series this year, conceded just 8 tries. That's a pretty good stat.
It is a good stat, considering the weather, certainly how you get a lot of turnovers, balls on the floor, and people just pick up and run the length. So it shows how our work rate to work back, and we work quite a lot in the week about our defensive shape, and hopefully it did show tonight.
Morg, huge congratulations, and go and enjoy your evening.
Thanks very much. Cheers.